Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is. We are back in the building, and it is Taco Tuesday because myself, homie Randy Weber, is in the building. You know what it is. We are here to have a good time, have a great time, talk some sports. Hey, man, couple of people, gotta hit that unemployment line. We'll talk about it. All right. We'll recap week 10 of NFL action, post trade deadline. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. So with all that being in mind, it's Randy Weber, it's Wildcard Mar, it's I.O.W Sports Late Night Owl Show episode 493. Hey, let's get to it.
Yeah, Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network Late Night Edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9 hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep, go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we here. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday. Your man Randy Weber is in the building. Wildcard Mar back in the building. Hey, we took last week off. I was feeling a little jet lag. I did an earlier podcast, and my body, I was like, I'm tired as hell. I can't do this one. So we took last week off, and I know my man had a lot to get off his chest, and I apologize to you, my brother, but I'm not like some of these old, athletes that just keep holding on, don't know when to let it go. Hey, sometimes when you can't go, you can't go. But it is what it is. Hey, but we appreciate everybody here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, do us a favor before we get too busy into our nonsense, into our sports talk. Y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe to the I.O.W Sports Network YouTube channel, preferably. You can also follow us on all social media channels at the I.O.W Sports Network media handles. So, hey, man, look, man, hey, it's that time of the year. For those who don't remember, me and Randy did a show right before the regular season started. We might have did the Thursday game. So regardless, we went, a show when we kind of predicted coaches being fired, and already 1 for 1 with Brian Callahan, now 2 for 2. Because let's start right there. Because Brian Daboll, it's the X. And so I obviously, with the homie Randy Weber being a huge Giants fan, I'm gonna surrender the floor and the mic, and then I'm just gonna let you kind of talk about your now ex-coach, now on the unemployment line. And for those, you look at his name, it says now do Shane.
Both chains.
Both shades. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours, bro. Talk to these people about how you feeling about the firing.
Yeah.
Should there be more that should be clipped, or overall? Just go ahead, man. Floor is yours.
All right, so the Giants fandom is very split on this for A lot of reasons. Because
Mm.
on the pro side for Daboll, you have the 2022 year where he had the magical run with the playoff game win with Daniel Jones, the most injured team in the NFL that year, with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley getting Daniel Jones's best year as a Giant out of him.
Fair.
So that was also a while ago.
Yeah. 3
No,
seasons.
yeah. Another case for Brian Daboll is Brian Daboll was the mind behind getting Jackson Dart. And while I didn't like that move at the time, so far it has shown to have been the right move in hindsight.
True.
He was the one that had the vision for Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart has been playing very well for the majority of his time as a Giant. And it does seem to have been the correct choice. So Brian Daboll gets credit for that. Brian also has not had a very good win-loss record with the Giants, obviously, but he also has not had the best roster to work with in a lot of these cases. Now, how much of a role he played in that is a question, because obviously Joe Shane is the one that's primarily responsible with letting Saquon go, with letting Xavier McKinney go. We had Julian Love, and we don't have him now because of Joe Shane. We have lost talent, and Brian Daboll has not had an elite roster to work with for the most part. So how much of it is his individual fault is, I think, a question. I've had those questions. I think that he is a very good quarterback developer. He showed that with Josh Allen, Jones, and now Dart. So those are all arguments for Daboll.
Okay.
The arguments against Daboll, in addition to the bad win-loss record, have been a lot of things that were in his control that he didn't do well. We lost multiple games just because he didn't elect kickers to the starting roster when Gano went out. The Commanders game from last season, and then this season, the Broncos game, which since Young-Ho Koo played on Sunday against Chicago and looked fine, the fact that he didn't play for us against the Broncos, still baffling. And that seems to have been a Daboll mistake.
Yeah.
Not holding those leads in the Cowboys game, in the Broncos game, and in the Bears game when we were 94% expected to win those games by that point.
Or higher, because there were some points where it was nearly like 99.6%, 98, 97, 95, 94 games, double-digit leads where unexcusable losses, pretty much.
Yes. And Shane Bowen also deserves a lot of blame for that, but it is also on Daboll.
Yes.
For the Giants-Cowboys game, having Russ throw another deep ball that ended up getting intercepted when all we needed was to get into field goal range to win the game, which could have been done by checkdowns. That was bad play calling on Daboll's end.
Yeah.
I think that ultimately, I do think that we needed a reset, and I do think that there are probably coaches that I would trust more in a vacuum than Daboll that are available. And we'll talk about some of the coaching options that are available right now that have been linked to the Giants. But between his connection to Dart, the overall project, at least he should not have been the only one to get fired. I think of the three obvious people, he might be the least responsible individually for the situation the Giants are in right now. Joe Shane has been, in my opinion, more responsible than Daboll. And, in addition to letting players go that he has let go, which has been a big part of it, he has also had two very good draft classes back to back. And I do think that has to give him credit. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's the reason why he wasn't. But I mean, now that we know that Daboll was the one that was behind picking Dart, how much overall, I guess I have complex thoughts on Daboll being fired. I will be happy if we end up doing the right choice to replace him. And it's also important to recognize that the Giants were bad before Daboll got there. The Giants had been bad for years before Daboll got there.
Mhm.
So, with Pat Shurmur and Joe Judge and all those guys, Ben McAdoo,
Oh Lord.
he's the best coach we've had since Coughlin, but that's just not saying much.
Yeah, that would what the young folks say. The bar is low.
Mhm.
The bar is low. No. Shocked that he got fired. No, shocked that they did it and didn't let him finish out the season. Partially a little bit.
Also, okay. The reason why I think they didn't, because I did want to get to this and I forgot to get to this.
Yeah.
I think the reason why they did is because Dart got hurt again.
Yeah.
And his entire project basically is, we finally let you pick your quarterback. Let's see what you can do with him. And he has developed him well. But when you are a 2-win team and you are not playing to get into the playoffs at this point,
Nope.
or at least you shouldn't be trying, why are you taking your quarterback that has a tendency to run into defenders anyway and calling, was it the second most designed runs in the NFL?
Yep.
For a 2-win team with a quarterback who's already been checked for concussions 3 times up until that point and who only started in week 4. So
you do.
That's,
yeah,
that's
great. No, you bring up a great point because it was crazy that Thursday night game against Philly when he went into the tent because got his head checked out and examined real quick. He ended up getting a fine for it and whatnot. As soon as Jackson got back in the game, he ran a quarterback option. And I was like, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. You do know that you literally just saw your guy in the tent getting his head checked out.
You went in the tent yourself.
In the tent
check in person.
Got $100,000 fine for it. And you literally ran a quarterback option. First play, he comes back out the blue tent and puts him in danger. And I'm like, that's negligence, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't be doing that. I think, and that's the thing also, if he's actually out, I mean, we don't know if he's going to be out for the season or anything. They haven't announced anything like that. But if you're going to be playing to protect him for next season, you don't really need Daboll now. Like, you're not trying to win this year. And,
now you know you got the talent. Now I need to find the coaching.
Right. And that's another big problem that I've been saying with the fact that Mara made publicly clear before the season that Daboll's seat was hot. Because when you do that, you're incentivizing them to make present decisions, short-term decisions for now. And that's why Daboll was doing all those designed runs, because that is Dart's strength. And he was trying to win as many games as possible now to protect his job. Yeah. But that's not the best thing for the team.
No, not at all. Not at all. I agree with you. But Daboll was in a pickle, but it was like either I damn if I do, damn if I don't. And it was like, I got to make these decisions. I got to make these play calls. I got to make these choices because it's kind of like I can't think about week 18. I can't think about week 17, 16, 15, 14 because, hell, I might not get there. We're at week 11. And he's already got a pink slip. So it was justified in him to kind of make those, I guess, brash decisions and choices. And it makes sense why he took the quick hook on Russ. It makes sense why he make those decisions and whatnot. Because I thought Russ wasn't playing terrible. What are some throws you would have want back? Of course. But
outside of week 2, he was playing pretty terrible. Like
I was trying to be nice, man.
I have no patience for Russ at this point. But I mean, and that's the thing. I understand from Daboll's perspective why he was doing that. I think that's a Mara problem. If you're gonna cut a guy, you don't publicly announce you're about to when you're not going to do it yet. I
You
think that
could-
was Mara's mistake.
Well, I mean, I think what he was also was just trying to put some urgency on probably the whole building. Like, hey, man, things are not going right. But here's my problem with the ownership. You guys have kind of been at the forefront of bad management of the team since Coughlin left, since Eli's been gone. I mean, there was 2 Super Bowls that I can remember as an adult from that organization. What happened to that organization that was running that one? To the people?
Yeah.
Who? Because I know they changed some GMs. I know they changed some coaches. But in the last 15 years, they went from one of the best ran franchises to easily one of the poorly ran franchises in 15 years. And that's not on Daboll. That's not on Jackson Dart. That's not on Scatterboo. That's not on don't get me wrong. Brian Daboll did himself no favor. Last time I saw it was 20-40-1 as a coach of the Giants. That's not good.
No, it's not. And yeah, no, I mean, we at that point had Jerry Reese as GM and we had Tom Coughlin as head coach. And when you have competent GMing and competent coaching,
it looks different.
Yeah, it looks massively different. And it's not like we didn't have talent at various periods, even in between that. Just it was a lot of bad management. Dave Gettleman, who the absolute bane of my existence, he had talent that played under him, and he made terrible decisions with it. Yes. And now we have Joe Shane, who's also made terrible decisions with the talent that he was gifted. And to his credit, like I said, he did draft some more talent, but he already had talent that he let walk for nothing multiple occasions with us.
Like literally nothing in return, no compensation, no. I mean, you get a compensatory pick back, but what them shits do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does them compensatory picks do? Them shits is not about to change your franchise off a compensatory tick,
right?
Hell, compensatory picks better hope they make the damn roster,
right? Yeah, and I mean, like, he's only had the 2 really good draft classes. Before that, he was drafting a bunch of misses. I'm pretty sure, forget which, was it Gettleman or him that drafted Tony? I think he was the one that drafted Kadarius Toney. So he's had his fair share of misses. He drafted Evan Neal in the first round. Like, he's had misses in drafting too. He's gotten better with that. But that was also the case for Dave Gettleman. Dave Gettleman's best case for, not being trash was, well, he got us OBJ, he got us Dexter Lawrence, he got us Andrew Thomas, and it's just like okay, but it doesn't outweigh all of the bad decisions that Gettleman made, and the same thing is true with Shane.
Yeah, and I'm at that point with you where I think we kind of knew Daboll was definitely on the high seat, obviously because the Mariners had announced it, but it's the record. Just the win-loss record was enough to justify the firing. I'm just having, for me, Randy, I'm having a hard time justifying a way to have kept Brian Daboll, which literally was, I guess, a playoff appearance might have been the only thing that I probably could say that would have saved him.
Right, exactly. It's a matter of, for me, the record is bad. How much of that is the coach? And I don't think that he plays zero blame in that. I don't think that he's 100% responsible either.
No.
But it's enough that if they're looking for a new head coach, there are lots of people who I trust more than Daboll at this point.
Let's be honest. That Scatterboo injury really put the nail in the coffin for him, for Daboll.
Right.
Because the energy and it just, when I was watching the game, it looked like the energy of the Giants just left. It was gone.
Right.
And, oh man, we lost our quote unquote emotional mascot leader. He's gone. And he was actually playing well. Then that Jackson Dart has a concussion situation. Injuries, 4 double-digit blown leads. When you have that piling up with the injuries, it's kind of like, if I'm management, I'm like, this season's a dud.
It's true. But like the flip of that is if Neighbors and Scatterboo both had not gotten injured and the Giants had won like 2 more games, would that make Daboll a better coach, or would that just mean that he was in a better situation?
Okay, but here's my thing, Randy. There's 4 blown leads. You're 2-8. Take those 4 losses, move it from the loss column, move it over to the win. You're 6-4. You're in the thick of the playoff competition in the NFC right now.
No, I agree. Like the blown leads, he has no excuse for.
I gotta put that on Daboll.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. So my biggest case is to why you can't keep them with the 4 blown leads, double-digit leads, and you can easily have a 6-4 record right now. We're doing all of that without Malik Neighbors. So he's shown the ability that he can get some good stuff out the football team, down some good talent. He's shown that this year.
Yes.
The problem is you've also shown that you are incapable of closing the games when you have your foot on people's throats. And you can't do that in the NFL. So the fact that you have already shown me that you're down elite talent, especially at the wide receiver position, because and no diss on the wide receiver core in the Giants organization, but it's not great, especially minus Malik Neighbors. It's not great. So the fact that you actually been in games, in fact, in position to close out games, in fact, should have won those games. You really making a case for yourself to be fired, and you're making a case to keep your job. So I think that's where I understand your complexity on how you feel about it, because it's like, damn, if you're showing that you can be in those games with minus minimal talent, but damn it, close the motherfuckers. Close it.
Right. No, it's true. And it's not like the teams that we lost to in those cases were like powerhouses we shouldn't have had a chance to. The Cowboys aren't a good team, especially on the defensive end. The Broncos are 8-2, but they're one of the weirdest 8-2 teams in recent NFL memory.
Is ridiculously inept and inefficient and just boring.
Yeah. And he was Bo Nix was horrible in the first 3 quarters. That was a winnable game. And then the Bears, who I think are a good team, I expected them to be a good team before the season started, and they've been on a win streak. Even them, they're not an unbeatable team. They're not a powerhouse. They're a team that you could have easily closed on. None of these were the result of not having a wide receiver. But not having a wide receiver was maybe those games wouldn't have been as close. That's the thing. We don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't want to assume.
But the Broncos game wasn't close, so I'm not. That one is entirely coaching.
That was all coaching. All right, when you are up that much and you are literally handing the Broncos a literally ass whooping in their building. Literally, they were, and it's funny because I remember us talking about that game, and I went back and watched it. I said, if I'm a Giants fan, I'm pissed the fuck off because this one, especially this one, when you're up that much and offense was dead in the water. They couldn't do nothing for 3.5 quarters, and all of a sudden, fourth quarter, midway through it, they find their offense and start clicking. And I'm like, what the is this?
Yeah. No, and like Shane Bowen, I think was the most obvious has to go, and he still hasn't been fired with all the talent that he was gifted, and for him to still have the worst run defense in the NFL, for him to have one of the most missed tackles of any defense, some of the most penalties, for Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland to both be like top 10 at their position, and then to get into a Shane Bowen defense and to both simultaneously regress, like for Deonte Banks, who had his best season under Wink Martindale, to now being one of the worst, if not the worst, cornerbacks in the NFL.
Man,
Shane Bowen has and the blown leads mostly being on the defensive end. Like, he should have gone immediately. I don't know how he still has his job.
You're wasting Super Bowl talent in that front four.
Yeah. Super
Bowl defensive talent literally just getting wasted just by the front four alone. And it was crazy because obviously me and Bobby and me and you have had this conversation. I was like, man, that's going to be the talking point of the Giants is them that defense keeping them in games, and now they're the reason why they can't hold games.
Yeah, no, it's true. This has actually been a more offensive heavy team, which was not on anybody's bingo card.
No, that not at all. Oh, we'd be millionaires if we put that on a fucking goddamn FanDuel fucking prop bet on how much they would average per game. There's no way, because I would have took the under in a heartbeat. But it's weird to me because I see coaches like this all the time that get a job after doing a phenomenal job as whether an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. They get to a job and they fail. But one thing that for me that doesn't get taken into account, and what you said is, did Brian Daboll do a good job? He had hits, he had misses, he had ups, he had downs. But to me, there's a certain line of what are you actually expecting of anybody coaching a franchise that is literally getting ran with so much turnover and turmoil over the last 15 years. So is it all his fault? Absolutely not. Does he need to shoulder some blame? He absolutely does have to. But you are given a GM as incompetent as Joe Sheen is. You are given a defensive coordinator that is literally just play calling his way out of a football game of a victory. When you are going against these forces and we're on the same team, we're supposed to be working together. You guys are sabotaging me, you sons of bitches. What's going on here? So I can't look at it as it all Brian Daboll, because there's no way you can tell me from his rookie season, becoming coach of the year, getting into the playoffs, actually getting a playoff victory, and in the next 3 years, the man is just shit on the stick, just shit on the can, just can't coach no more. Now, again, there's some decisions, like we pointed out, has to shoulder on him. But you can't tell me that this guy just won coach of the year, playoff appearance, playoff victory, and for the next 3 years, there's been so much turmoil when it comes to coaching or defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, GMs, and then, of course, the personnel. Where's the money going? Who's getting paid? You still never gave the man a damn offensive line. You gave him a left tackle. You gave him Andrew Thomas. Okay, there's 4 other motherfuckers that got a block here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, okay, you gave me Malik Neighbors. I need a number 2. I need a tight end.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Back.
And even some of those pieces, like the offensive line this year, and at points of last year before the injuries, has looked better than it has basically since I've been a Giants fan. And I will give them also some credit for that. The offensive line coach, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. His Carmen Bricillo has made what has been at this point a decent, so some weeks even above average offensive line with Jermaine Illuminor. Although, I mean, I'm still kind of mad at Jermaine Illuminor for those 2 sacks that he let happen from CJ Gardner-Johnson this week. But he's been among the better right tackles we've had in recent memory. There's been improvement. Theo Johnson has been a decent run threat, although he has his drop problems. So I wouldn't say that he's a good tight end. I would say that he's been useful at times. There are marginal improvements we're seeing, but we need someone to take the talent on the team and move it up. And this is not a bad coaching job for somebody to go into. You have a young, really good quarterback. You have a young, really good running back. You have one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You have one of the best left tackles in the NFL with an offensive line that, although still needs a lot of work, is on its way up. You have some of the best defensive talent in the NFL to play with. And John Mara has shown that he can be pretty patient, maybe to a fault. This is not a bad job to go into as a head coach. And now you also have what's probably going to be a top 5 draft pick this coming year.
Yeah. Top 10 for sure. top 5 still in doubt because there's just some other sucky teams that are actually more suckier than the
Yes.
Giants. So-
Right. No, that's true. Yes, exactly. We should pick after the Titans, Jets, and Saints.
yes,
Maybe the Browns too. But definitely top 10. Dolphins were supposed to be in that bunch, and we'll talk about that, but they might not be anymore. I don't know what happened to them.
nah, they'll still be there. I ain't too sold on that. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that.
All right.
So, what off the top of your head, what are some of your best replacements that you are thinking? That obviously you living in the market, you've heard names. Which one's a name that you've heard like got you buzzing, or is there a name that you particularly would like to see get a crack at the job?
So the names that I've heard get thrown around, and I'll start by just throwing names out there, not necessarily ones that I like. Lane Kiffin, Antonio Pierce,
Don't mind that one.
Spags. So we might take him from y'all. Bill Belichick. Who there were those four? Clint Kubiak.
Yeah. Okay.
Those were some of the ones that I've seen thrown around, and of those, I definitely don't want Bill Belichick.
Really?
In addition to how much I hate him, he's also been horrible with South Carolina. So I'm good on that. I think his time is over. Lane Kiffin has the connection to Jackson Dart, and I do think he's a very good play caller. He just doesn't have the NFL experience. Was with the Raiders for a little bit and the Jaguars for a little bit, and that's basically been it. And those were both from a long time ago. So wouldn't be my first choice, but not my last choice either. Antonio Pierce was a Giant, and that's the only reason that he's really being thrown around there. But he did not have a good stint with the Raiders. Also, did not have any talent to work with, so I don't really blame him for that. I mean, his quarterback was AOC. So
Ooh, that was
how
tough.
much? Yeah, how much of that was him? I don't know. He did have that one crazy blowout game against the Chargers, but that's been it. Clint Kubiak has been a really good offensive mind in molding quarterbacks. Right now, he's continuing the Sam Darnold experiment to the point where Sam Darnold is now an MVP caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
So
you're definitely in the talks MVP right now for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would not mind that at all. I think an offensive-minded coach is probably smart for developing our young quarterback. I think it probably makes the most sense. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of. I mean, Spags also.
Spags makes total sense.
Spags makes total sense. I know that he's mostly defensive-minded because he's a D coordinator. He did not have a great run as head coach, but he's such a great football mind. I can't imagine that he couldn't do anything if given more talent. I would love to give him a chance to be a head coach and see what happens.
Yeah. No. What some of the lists? I've heard some of those names. Some other names I've heard. I've heard the John Gruden. I'm like, if my thing with John Gruden, if the NFL wanted him back in the league, they would have asked him back a long time ago, and nobody's asked him back. So there's a reason.
Right.
But I will say, I don't think it's football related.
True.
I think it's those emails that got leaked in Washington. He took the fall for it, and that's how the owners want it. They want you to take your fall and shut the hell up, go away.
Yeah. No, I mean it's kind of the same thing with like Eric Bieniemy, right? Like he hasn't been able to get. He's like the running back coach for the Bears right now, which his resume says that he should be a head coach, but he's had his off-field stuff. There's some, in my opinion, profiling. against him, but like, it's not always football related.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I think it's not football related for sure. So I've heard John Gruden's name out there. I've also heard. I need to talk to Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky, I think you're an idiot. I think you're a complete fool. Shout out to my man Chris Lane on Do You Even Sports, bro. I love his content. If you get a chance to pop it up, take a look at it. It's pretty good. And he put up the clip, right? And Dan Orlovsky suggested that the management for the New York Giants should pay attention to what's going on in Cleveland and should hire Kevin Stefanski as the next coach. And I thought that was the most dumbest thing in the world, because you're talking about Kevin Stefanski, who is not doing a great coaching job in Cleveland. And you want that guy to go to one badly ran franchise to another badly ran franchise and expect him to actually win? Because the Browns and the Giants in the last 10, 15 years aren't too far off from the same image of each other.
I will say, if before this year, I would have been like, okay, Kevin Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year, has gotten more out of what has been a very horrible situation than he probably should have. Like, he should not have been able to get to the playoffs with Joe Flacco 2 years ago.
It's 2 years, though, Randy, out of what, 6?
No, but he's also, look at the talent he's had to work with. But I will say, before that, he actually did have a decent amount of talent that he blew it. He had a good offensive line. He had Nick Chubb. He had a really good defense, and
this man had prime Nick Chubb.
Yes. So he did have talent before that. He didn't make it work. My biggest reason now for not wanting to take him is his instincts with what to do at his quarterback situation have been horrible.
Hello?
The fact that he's still playing Dylan Gabriel when he doesn't have to, just out of
that should disqualify you in general.
Yeah, just out of what, stubbornness, pride, not wanting to have been wrong about not wanting Shedeur. Like, even if Shedeur ends up being bad, like, what do you have to lose at this point? He's not going to be worse than Dylan Gabriel or Joe Flacco were with you.
That's my point. There's no way Shedeur could be worse than what Dylan is doing right now. There's no way. It's not possible. It's not feasible.
If he's even average, then might have something there. Like, because you have such a good defense, you have Quinshon Judkins. Like, even if Shedeur is average, you have something. But okay, so yeah, that's what I would say. That's been such an egregious decision. I don't know if I want someone with that decision making.
He's had more talent in Cleveland than he would have in the Giants.
At points, yeah.
And definitely at points. This man, a 2-time coach of the year, this man literally had an 11-win season. All right. This man literally went and broke a playoff drought. But then you can't follow it up on consistent playoff appearances. And don't get me wrong, the GM, they're not geniuses over there.
Right. They gave him Deshaun Watson.
The ownership isn't smart. They definitely have failed at the quarterback position for sure.
And that's also an important point, is how much of the head coach, because head coaches do get input on decision making. They don't make the final decision. I'm sure Brian Daboll had some input on the Daniel Jones contract, which in and of itself is disqualifying. If Kevin Stefanski had input on that Deshaun Watson contract, that might be the most disqualifying decision you can have.
Obviously, I don't know anybody. I'm willing to bet that was an ownership move. They wanted that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm just willing.
The question is if he signed off on it.
Well, so my thing is looking at how Baker is playing, and I'm not saying that's the version that they would have now, but the guy wasn't terrible in Cleveland, and the guy took it to a playoff. He took down the mighty Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. He wasn't playing like ass.
No, he was looking like a pretty solid quarterback.
He was
for
looking,
them. And
yeah.
and then they let him walk after they made it clear they were looking for another quarterback, and Baker was like, "Well, no, then I'm out," and rightfully, and that put them in that position. But that was also bad management, putting themselves in that position.
And that's why I'm saying, if you asking a guy from going from one poorly managed franchise that actually had a good amount of talent. Look at the defense that they gave Kevin Stefanski this year, to a franchise that in the last 15 years hasn't been ran properly, that's going to have, at an extent, lesser talent than what he's going from. And you expect him to win? That's why I'm looking at that tape for Dan Orlovsky. Like, what are we talking about? Like his coaching isn't that great to overcome those, deficiencies. Is not. We're not talking about like this guy is fucking Vince fucking Lombardi right here, bro. What are we talking about?
That's true, but then is there any head coach who could overcome the situation that would be available now? Right, like I would love to take an Andy Reid or a Kyle Shanahan, but they're not available.
You would literally have to start over from a GM coach combo where the GM and the coach are coming in together, and they've obviously had talks of how they're going to run the team. Who would they attract? How are you going to get certain players that fit my scheme, or how?
Right. It starts with firing Joe Shane. Like, you can't have Joe Shane running it and a head coach having to deal with his decisions. I agree.
Hey, the best replacement for Brian Daboll is for the new GM to pick it.
Yep.
That's my answer. Because there's no way that for Joe Sheen to stick around and to continue to keep his job and to continue to literally be negligent at building a all around constructive roster that's depictable of a team that wants to win. There's certain elements of that Giants team that looks like, I like that. There's other parts it's like, bro, okay, but how long are you gonna keep that little ugly duck back there?
That ugly duck's name might be Deontay Banks. He might be Evan Neal. Yeah,
hey, that's what I'm saying. There's some corner issues. There's some O-line issues that I'm just keep looking at. I'm like, how long y'all gonna keep that ugly duck right there though?
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm looking at, damn, well, how good is Saquon then? And damn, just imagine come on. I just think just letting Saquon walk out the building and getting nothing in return is fireable enough for me. But what do I know? So
no, I like I said, I think that he's more responsible than Daboll is. If one of them was going to go first, I thought it should have been Shane, and I still think it.
Speaking of blame, there's a Nico on the stick.
How did it take this long?
Well, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of
like, it took a long time for them to get rid of him. There were chants for months of fire Nico. There was a protest outside of his office. You know what you have to do? To get a protest against you? I've seen so many bad decisions. The Deshaun Watson contract didn't even get protests.
Okay, but Randy, can we be honest? Do you really think Nico really made that decision, bro?
I think he did, because he publicly owned it.
Well, because he fell on the sword, man. I'm not saying that. Okay. It's already, I think it's simple enough that we all can agree that it was egregious of them trading Luka, period. Bar none. Nobody's going to dispute that. All right? Cool. So let's get that knocked out the way. Nobody's going to argue that part at all.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody has to take blame for it. And I think they're letting Nico do it because they're owners. The new ownership that came in, because there ain't no way Mark Cuban would have made that trade.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ain't no way. So we obviously know that Mark Cuban sold his shares, and he's, I'm good.
Yeah.
So we know that ain't him. Matter of fact, I don't even know if Mark even been to a game this year. So he's that ain't him. All right. I just think that with that new ownership and shit, they don't know shit about basketball. They kept looking at how do we get to this number one pick? Oh, let's trade away the star who can't get his fucking fat ass in shape, and we don't like the fact that we're giving you want more money and all this extra, extension, large max extension, and you can't even keep the LBs down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
That's just where I'm at. I'm thinking, like, regardless, even them coming off a finals appearance, ticket sales are going to be there because his name is Luka. He's box office. I get all that. But they're like, fat motherfucker, I don't think they looked at this shit as a basketball move, because Nico has been around basketball for a long time, and I don't think that he would have made that as a basketball move to trade Luka.
He would have had to sign off on it, though. Like, that's the other thing. Like, at his position as GM, it could not have happened without him at least approving it.
Well, see, that's my point. That trade has to get signed off by ownership, because there's no way, there's no GM on the planet Earth that would ever make that move to move a Luka Doncic at 25, 26 years old, a star, international star, in your organization, to move him without approval. There's no way that you could just make that, or you got that much cachet or power pool as a GM to move that and to say fuck a ownership approval. Like,
no, I know that the ownership approved it, but the fact the GM Nico did multiple times, to his own detriment, own that decision, to defend that decision. The defense wins championships and all of that. That was all Nico. Nico, knowing that it was going, it had destroyed his reputation, kept owning that decision. He even owned it when they got the first pick of the draft. He still owned it like it was part of his plan. Now, did the ownership make him do that? I mean, maybe, but it was not have been in Nico's interest to do all of that, knowing that it was literally inciting protests against him. Like, I don't know. I mean, I agree that ownership was at least partially responsible for it, because they would have had to be, but I don't think that waives Nico's responsibility. And I think that when you have a team that's still, despite the trade, very talented. I mean, I predicted them at the beginning of the season to make the playoffs. And now they're in last place.
And right. So let's put everything into context. Say Kyrie doesn't have the ACL or the Achilles, and he's actually playing healthy. Anthony Davis looks a little chunky. Look like that Texas deal. Your food good get to you.
Yeah, that LA dieting versus Texas barbecue has really made a difference.
No, literally, am I wrong? He looks a little thick. I'm not like no homo. Pause. I'm just being honest. Like he like, hey D,
he took Luka's weight with.
Yeah. Luka dropped his and gave it to you. It's almost as if the diet just instantly swapped, because Luka's in better shape.
That's the most insane karma that could have possibly happened. Is the player you trade for got fat and Luka isn't fat anymore.
He's in better shape. AD's looking a little thick.
And now, if you want to say, if your point is that well, these things are outside of ownership's control. They're outside of Nico's control. Anthony Davis getting hurt, Kyrie getting hurt,
Yeah, I think it's
etc.
outliers.
But Anthony Davis always gets hurt, and Nico knew that before making the trade.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
that's you know, it's one of those things that you know, damn near is a given.
It's the reason why you don't make the trade, because I don't think in a vacuum, just as basketball players, I don't think that the gap between Luka and AD is that enormous. The reason why you don't make the trade isn't necessarily because of talent.
No,
it's because A, you just made
durability.
the finals. Yeah, A, you just made the finals with the roster you have, and B, you're adding 10 more years to your top player and a bunch of building injuries. Luka was coming off of injury before the trade was made, and AD had been healthy that year. But if you were looking at their track records, AD he's street clothes for a reason. And then you traded for that guy, shortening your championship window by almost 10 years, and then you expect him to all of a sudden stop getting hurt now that he's older? Like that, Nico should have known that.
That's fair. I just think I don't know. It's just for him to be such a basketball guy. I'm hard pressed to think that he kind of made this ridiculous trade just out of nowhere. Just, hey, let's move Luka and give me the street clothes aging veteran that still has a little bit of potential to be one of the best two-way. Because let's be honest, if AD is literally healthy, he's probably one of the top defenders in the league, and he has a chance to be at least a top 10 offensive scorer. But if we can't get that from him because he can never put it all together on a consistent basis.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you are getting at least a comparable player when on the court.
Yeah.
But that's the issue. And yeah, no, I mean, like, I think that ownership was very much involved in that decision because they would have had to be. I think that they didn't like that Luka wasn't losing weight. It may also not have just been that. There may have been more behind the scenes we don't know. Like, it pushback between him and management. They may not have wanted to give him the contract that he would have warranted.
Oh yeah. Oh, you don't want to lose weight? Just no way we can pay you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't make those decisions as an organization to commit, especially when these NBA max extensions are getting bigger and bigger by the year because the revenue keeps going up for them. So at some point in time, you talking about because where they at with the max value right now? Like 3 years, they're almost hitting 300. 5 years, almost hitting 300 million now.
Mm-hmm.
So all guaranteed. Over 5 years, 300 million. Yeah, I can't be just giving that type of bag to a joker. That's just these jokers are making damn near 60 million a year, bro.
Yeah, you see that video of after they won the Western Conference Finals when he was trying to drink the beer, Nico walked up to him and took it out of his hand. Like
him and Michael Finley said, "No, get that out your hand, bro. What are you doing, bro?"
And now Luka is averaging a 40-point almost triple-double, like one either rebound or assist off of a triple-double. It's rough times for Nico right now. It's not a good day for him.
And I think that also kind of plays a part in ownership making this decision. Oh, we getting angry fans. They're not showing up to the games. And like that's why I'm like, when you got those certain outliers that out of Nico's control, but he's falling on the stick for it because the fact that he's the GM and they're going to point and say, well, he's the one that makes the trades, right? And they're going to say, well, Luka's out there in shape in LA and he's hooping.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have your first pick overall rookie trying to play point guard when he's not a point guard, looking like a bust already. It's just like, well, if only you had a point guard. If only there was a point guard on your roster, so Flag didn't have to play one.
So coaching, and I got to put that on the coaches. Cooper's not a point guard. What about?
No, yeah, he has not looked good as one.
No. They weren't even using him as a point guard, and dude. Just because you can take it for a court don't make you a point guard.
Right. And like granted, that's also because Kyrie is hurt. So, Kyrie would be doing that.
Outlier.
But you had a point guard.
I get you. But it's unfair. And well, I'm not gonna say it's unfair because it's a cruel world. But hey, you made that decision as a team to make the trade. You got to deal with it. But somebody had to fight. Take the sword. They're gonna make Nico do it because the owners are the owners. You actually had to get sell the team to get fired. That's your fired. It's selling the team. So their leeway is that they're willing to take on the criticism, but when it starts affecting the bottom dollar and them jokers stop coming in that damn arena, oh yeah, you definitely taking a fall for that one, pimp.
Yeah, no, he's so I don't know who's gonna end up being the next GM. We'll see what ends up happening. Like again, this is not a bad job to walk into as a GM. You do have talent. You do have talent on the roster.
Well, they said
Michael make it work.
They said Michael Finley and another guy was going to tag team it as an interim basis, but I actually think they should let Michael Finley become the GM. Just let him have it, because for me, I feel more comfortable about a person that is a mind in that sport, played in that elite level, that can look at, all right, well, I can see where we're having, being in, good at and where we got deficiencies at. I think they can pinpoint a lot quicker than guys who are not basketball people. But if he has a guy that doesn't have a basketball background and he can tag team with, that can convey that same language to these owners who don't have a basketball background, they're looking at this as a business. So you can have them related to them in a business language and kind of work as a duo, because I think that's probably the best thing that might help out the Mavericks in this situation, is to kind of have that tag team that can have that certain conversation with certain individuals in that certain language so they can understand it. Because you can't have business owners who know business, made billions of dollars, understand the actual inner workings of football or basketball or baseball. There's no way you can expect them to understand that. And that's why, shout out to what's her name, Charlie Irsay Gordon, taking over for her father, being so involved so she can understand how the inner workings, so she can get the knowledge. Because she made it simple. She said, hey, when you're in charge of signing $1 million checks to individuals, I want to make sure that is going to the right person. Otherwise, wasted money.
No, for sure. And it was the right call.
It's working out for her so far, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, but look, anytime you make a trade like that and your GM that's next to your name, you got, hey man, y'all sure y'all want to make this trade, bro? You sure? You sure? Now we can try. Let's exhaust all options to get them in shape. Let's exhaust all options. Let's continue to build around them. But you sure we you sure we exhausted all options?
Yeah, we did just make the finals with this guy,
Exactly. We did just make the finals with this roster. Like, can we make this roster better with or without him? Just probably make it better with him. So, what's good, Cole?
Jokic is still fat, and he's still playing at an elite level. Like, you can make it work.
You can make it work. You can make it work. Hey, man. Hey, it's shit, bro. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, man. Shh, keep that on the low, bro. Keep that on the low. Let's obviously trade deadline was last Tuesday. Man, Didn't see the Jets literally going in and trading away all of their defense. And so that's more on the Browns on why they lost that game. That's on what?
Yeah, no, that was because I made a decision that I never would have made in any other circumstances, which was I included the Browns winning in my parlay, and they were the reason why I lost that parlay. How you lost to a team that is actively tanking. I don't know how you do that. Both teams have bad offenses, but one team has a good defense. Like it should have been a no-brainer. One of them's actively tanking. But anyway, okay. So the Jets completely cleaning house, trading the Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-rounders this year and next year, to the Cowboys. Quinn Williams. For a first and a second. I'll just say off tops, for the Sauce trade, I don't really love it for either team. This is why I don't love it for either team. For the Jets, you already have a guaranteed top 3 pick. You're getting your quarterback this year in the draft. It would be shocking if they end up not being in the running for Mendoza, Moore, Simpson. I mean, it's a fairly deep quarterback class. Like if they get a Nussmeier, if they get a Sorsby, like these aren't like they're an okay. Sellers is probably too raw, but if you're going to get you're probably going to be in the running for those top 3 guys. And if you're in the running for those top 3 guys, you're fine.
I'm sorry, Randy. I don't see a franchise quarterback in this class coming out.
Really? That's okay. That's a decent hot take.
I'm talking about. Are they going to be quarterbacks picked is somewhere in the first round? Possibly, for sure. I mean, we see somebody that really wants, they fall in love with somebody and like, I got to have them. But for me, I don't see like that franchise quarterback that says, "Oh man, I got to have that guy."
Okay.
I just think there's so many other issues with the Jets that you need to fix those. And with all these picks that you just piled up because you just traded away a lot of talent that was in their mid-20s and they're already on their second contracts. I understand why you do it.
Well, so what I'm saying is like normally if you're going to do this, you'll do this for the reason the Browns did it or possibly the Rams did it, which is you can put those picks together to get a quarterback because you need a quarterback. The Jets, the pick they already had is getting them a quarterback. So
Fair.
You traded a top 2 or 3 cornerback in the NFL to get picks for other positions. You need a quarterback. You traded DJ Reed already, and now you just traded Sauce. One of these picks is going to go to a cornerback. I mean, it is that Family Guy meme of like the mystery box. It could be anything. It could even be an all-pro cornerback. It's like, but you already had one. You have a lot of positions that you do need, but I don't know if I would have done that for what's at least for this year is going to be a late round draft pick.
It was shocking, sure.
Yeah. For this year. Next year we don't know. But for this year, the pick that you won is later than the pick you already had. And the likelihood of you getting a star from that pick when you already had one is not great.
I got you.
Yeah. So I don't really love that. For the Colts, I don't love that because now as a Giants fan, I have seen what it's like to put to lock yourself in with Daniel Jones. And that's what they just did. Now that they don't have a first round pick for the next 2 years, if Daniel Jones sucks and the last 2 games indicate that he might still suck, You are now stuck with him. You don't have the draft capital to either pick or trade for another quarterback, and you are stuck with Daniel Jones now.
I never looked at it that way. For the Colts, I just looked at it as they were adding a corner to an already solid defense, vamping it up, and like, hey, we're gonna have to face Kansas City. We're gonna have to, face other teams that are going to try to move the football down the field. Let's get some defense. We like where we are now, but because we're on this 8-2 record right now, let's beef it up a little bit more, and let's solidify it. That's how I looked at it. I never looked at it at there's a lot going into the success of Daniel Jones. He has to succeed.
Yeah,
he has to.
And when it's time, when his contract time comes around, because he's not locked up in a contract, now he gets to push back and be like, well, we had a winning record with me. Even if nothing ends up happening in the playoffs, we had a winning record with me. And what are you going to do to replace me? You have to pay me. And that's what he did with us.
Or you want Anthony Richardson. I mean, I walk.
Yeah, for real. It's just like you aren't drafting anybody. You're not trading picks. You're not doing anything. Like, I'm your guy, or Anthony Richardson's your guy.
Power move.
And you just put yourself in a position to be fair, Sauce is, again, a top 2 or 3 corner in the NFL. He's a great talent. I don't think any cornerback is necessarily worth that, because a cornerback can only do so much to take your team and lift it. Like, even like a prime Darrelle Revis can only do so much for your team if your cornerback sucks. That's why the Jets with him didn't do anything. So I don't love this for either move. I definitely think the Jets were right to start cleaning house. I would have done the Quinnen Williams trade. I think that was a good trade for them to do, because the Cowboys are going to be picking high. A defensive tackle is not as irreplaceable as Sauce is, but I would have done it with Quinnen Williams and with Breece Hall. And I know that they tried to do it with Breece Hall with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs weren't willing to pay as much as they wanted. No. But there are other teams that need running backs that you could have talked to. The Broncos really need one. RJ Harvey hasn't been very good for them, and
he's been all right.
He's been all right, but with an offensive line like that, they really do have the infrastructure for a Breece Hall, and they're in win now mode. Seahawks, same deal. I think there are teams they could have talked to before just giving up on that.
Yeah. I was actually kind of surprised that they didn't move Breece Hall, because I'm like, well, you're moving Sauce, you're moving Quinnen, just move all your stars and just. But man, the picks that they can really rechange the direction of this franchise in one draft with all those picks that they got. Man, that's loaded with first round picks. Mm-hmm. That was pretty smart. So I mean, hey, you're not winning shit this year, so reset. Totally smart.
It's just a question of, like, the picks also have to hit, and they have to hit in a Jets franchise, which is not a guarantee. Right? Like, the fact that Sauce hit as well as he did is, a rarity for Jets picks.
He was a round pick. He was.
Oh no, you knew Sauce was going to be great, but like, we've seen really good talent go into the Jets franchise and fall off the cliff. Yeah, right, Sauce didn't. So you never know with that. But I did really like the Quinnen Williams trade on both ends. That one I was much better about for both the Cowboys and the Jets. The Cowboys have the offense already. They have the quarterback on long contract. They're not looking to move off of Dak, and they don't seem to need to. They just need to beef up the defense. So getting Quinnen Williams next to Kenny Clark.
I was about to say, I actually kind of
like Ezraku.
I kind of like that combo of Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. You got the two interior guys. Donovan Ezraku has looked pretty solid, and then once you get an edge in the draft, this coming draft, which is going to be a pretty high pick, you might have something there. Now you shouldn't have traded Micah, but it's too late for that. So you have a chance to fix the front four, get a cornerback at some point in the draft, and then you're not in a horrible position once you do that.
Hindsight, seeing how they made these trades now, I actually would have probably preferred the combo of Quinnen and Micah than Quinnen and Kenny. And
yes,
that's not a diss to Kenny. I think he's been playing pretty solid since he's been in a Cowboy uniform. What I'm saying is that Quinnen Williams is dynamic in what he does in the middle, and Micah Parsons is dynamic on what he does on the outside.
Yeah.
When two dynamic forces like that on the front four, I just think that's something more deadly than having a combo of a dynamic guy in the middle next to a good another defensive tackle in the middle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, of course. But Micah's obviously the better player, and he's at a more important position. So if you had Micah and Williams together, your defense would look better. I mean, look, the defense didn't look great Micah's last year with them, but if he also had nobody next to him in the middle. If you would put Williams there, they would have looked better.
See, and that's kind of what. We're pretty much saying the same thing in a different way because Micah would have done what he done on the outside, and Quinnen Williams would have done what he does on the inside. That's what you need on that front four. You got to have that combo. Then that makes it easier on your backers. That makes it easier on your secondary, which has always been the problem with them. They're not going to hold up.
Right. Yeah, so they still need that for sure.
Oh, yeah, they definitely need the pass rush because, hey, dude, first of all, there's no way I can have Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams on the field on 3rd and 15. No way. I need my pass rush. One of y'all is definitely coming off, if not both. So, I would probably leave Quinnen on because I probably respect his pass rushing ability from the inside a lot better than Kenny. No disrespect, but at the end of the day, yeah, I'm just one team that actually for me I thought won the trade was the Eagles. I love what they did. And Jalen Phillips made instant dividends. No disrespect to Sauce, but I saw how that man Drake London put you on the skates in goddamn Berlin, bro.
Yeah, not a good showing.
Hey yo,
with them.
he buckled, dog. Oh. Yeah, Drake London put that boy on them skates and broke that man ankles. He had him crumpled, bro. But no, Jalen Phillips made instant impact. He had a great game Monday night against the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, he did play for Vic Fangio in Miami for some time. So obviously the connection was already there. So that was smart by getting him. I know the news came down today that Jair Alexander said he's going to step away. He's not feeling too good mentally and physically, which I commend, especially being men. I think we need to take care of our mental health a lot better than what we do. So he feels like, hey, man, mentally, I need to step away. Hey, by all means, do what you got to do, bro. Take care of that because, RIP to Marshawn Neely. We don't need no more situations like that. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Straight up. I'm just being real. I know I joke a lot, I talk a lot of shit and be silly on the show, but one thing that I don't joke about is that mental health shit. All right, we don't need no more Marshawn Neely situations. So condolences goes out to his family and his friends for sure. I know they're dealing with a tough week. Obviously, the emotions that they just went through, seeing him score a touchdown on Monday Night Football, and then 3 days later, what? I'm pretty sure the emotional roller coaster is crazy on that. So, props to Jair Alexander saying he needs to, step away for a second, mentally, physically, get right. Kudos, bro. Get right. All right, go get right. But and then they made a trade with the Chargers. They brought in somebody, a linebacker or somebody that they kind of helped them. Mike Green's been coming. Woo! Oh man, the Ravens.
You know, actually, when you bring up the Ravens, when I was thinking of teams who I thought should have made that Sauce Gardner trade, the Ravens were absolutely at the top of that list. Just getting to that because
it wouldn't have hurt them, because if they give up a first round pick, I'm thinking that pick's going to be in the high 20s, if not anyway. Like, get that bitch away.
Exactly. And you already have your quarterback. You don't need to worry about that. You already have a ton of talent everywhere in the ball. You just traded Jair Alexander at the trade deadline, so you need a cornerback anyway. Your pass defense has been your weakness, so filling it up with Sauce Gardner, would have made perfect sense. The Bills are another team that would have made sense with. I think it was a bad move for the Colts. You always have to worry, like, oh, is this going to be a Jamal Adams situation with any cornerback trade? And after how he looked against Drake London, and considering it's a Jets trade, it's not out of the realm of concern. But it's just, you just got to have a quarterback locked up before you start making first round pick trades.
Nah, no doubt. I just think, for what the Eagles did, I love what they did, but I think, like you said, Ravens missed out. I think the Bills missed out on some things that they could have helped.
The Bears getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a great move.
Yeah, and just signing him off the street, because he did. He definitely cleared waivers, and there wasn't nobody going after him. So now he's on this.
Yeah, if only if Jermaine and Luminor had decided maybe I should block him, his stat line wouldn't look as impressive, but it looks pretty impressive. I get it; it's a safety blitz, but bro, move.
Come on.
I get it. I get it. It's a lot of targets coming at you at once, but do something.
I will say this. Maybe the last couple of years, 2, 3, maybe 4 years, I feel like the NFL has been more active in the regular season to be more preemptive, to be doing more trades. Because for me, growing up, obviously they've always had a trade deadline, but I always kind of felt like the NFL, they weren't doing a lot of trading like it would in the NBA, or even half as close as the Major League. But the last couple of years, they like, yo, fuck it. Hey, bro, I need this. I need so-and-so. Go get it. And I think they're more prone to do more moving amongst the league. I'm cool with it. So, but
no, I agree. I like that too. That they're there's the activity, there's movement, there's things going on. There were some minor trades also. There was Jacoby Myers going to the Jaguars, and with all the issues they've had with their wide receivers, I think that does make some sense.
It don't matter. They still can't win the damn game, bro. They still get
It's true. Yes. But with Brian Thomas's seeming regression, Travis Hunter getting hurt.
Yeah, he's out for the season now. Ooh.
Yeah. You needed something. Jacoby Myers is not a bad wide receiver too. I think that move made some sense. Will it matter? Maybe not, but it made process makes sense. Rashid Shaheed going to the Seahawks. I like that for them.
Yeah, I do. He's a burner, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And now you got good quarterback. Putting him next to JSN really can unlock Rashid Shaheed.
Hell, that'll benefit both of them, bro. Because if that unlocks Shaheed, then they're gonna be like, "Yo, you can't let Shaheed just start getting off on us." And then next, then JSN continues his historic season already. This man's already had a 1,000 yards, so he's just gonna do nothing but add on to that miraculous season he's already had. So no, I love those trades.
Yeah, you have 2 skill position players this year that are both possibly in the MVP hunt. I don't remember a time in over a decade where that's been the case.
And let they mess around, let Jonathan Taylor hit break that Russian all-time Russian or
Touchdown
Russian yards. He gets 22.
Oh, yeah.
They let JSN get a 2K receipt. I'm sorry, we can't just keep letting these quarterbacks just add the MVP just because we trying to make it an MVP award for just the quarterback. No, sure, and not if one of these, if not both, of Jonathan Taylor and JSN have historic seasons. No, no,
especially if either of their team gets the 1 seed, then yeah, they need to be in that conversation very seriously. And right now the Colts are the 1 seed despite Daniel Jones playing like shit because of Jonathan Taylor.
Hey, you will forever have it out for Daniel Jones, bro. Hey, you would Tanya Harding his ass in a heartbeat, bro. Oh, sorry, you young folks, you didn't understand that reference. My bad. Anyway, week 10 was a weird week. Obviously, the Browns forgetting how to win a football game after a team adversely tanking. That was crazy.
The offsides at the end that just gave the game away. How do you they're baiting you? Like, how do you mess that up?
First of all, watch the damn football. Did the football get hiked? What are you moving for? Those are one of the most old-headed penalties that would piss me off if I was ever a coach. I would probably get fired because I would probably lay hands on their kids. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? That's why I can't coach football. I can't any level from grown man to elementary to get whatever college, high. I can't do it because a penalty like that is so bonehead. That's silly.
Yeah, for that, when we get to the end season awards, and we do the Kadarius Toney Award, that guy's name's gonna show up there for some noms.
Oh my gosh. But let's talk about the big loss. Buffalo Bills getting their ass spanked at the crib by the Dolphins. Do we chalk that up as just a divisional game? I don't know if I can just chalk that up as a divisional game. I'm just going to chalk it up to, again, Josh Allen coming off his Super Bowl victory because he beat the Chiefs the week before, and then the motherfucker lays an egg the week later and then turns over the ball and starts playing like he was before he played the Chiefs, where he had those stretch of 2 losses in a row when he was turning the ball. The last month and a half hasn't been great for Josh Allen.
No.
If we really being a buck.
No, it's true. I mean, I know they always play hard against the Chiefs, so like I expected the Bills to win the regular season game because that's the one they always win. But and he played well, to be fair. Mahomes did not play well against not that elite Bills defense. But and then they go to Miami. Miami also kicked the shit out of the Falcons like 2 weeks ago. So I don't think this means Miami is good, but especially after the Ravens game in between. But maybe it's just divisional. Maybe it's just I feel like this was a game more that the Bills lost than that the Dolphins won, right? Like with all those turnovers, I think it was more that than anything.
Yeah, but the turnovers came from who? It matters who those turnovers came from, bro. Solid. And he is not playing at an MVP level. All right.
He's not even being the best quarterback in his division right now.
Not right now. Drake May is leaps and bounds looking like an MVP candidate right now.
Yeah, I mean it's such a weird year because I mean the joke with this year is like nobody knows who's good or not, and that's true of a lot of teams. Like the Bills are one of them. They go and they beat the Chiefs, and then they immediately get their ass handed to them by a much worse opponent. But I got what's happening here.
But I got to be honest with you, Randy. If we keep it in the buck, let's stay in that division. AFC East, the Jets are trash. All right. The Dolphins, trash. But somehow they keep beating teams that they're not supposed to. All right. Bills, I don't know what the hell you are. But the damn Patriots, I will wish y'all suck again because I do not, absolutely do not need these old stinking mans, Sam Adams drinking, baked bean eating, Boston baked bean tea drinking motherfuckers, Patriots fans crawling out the damn grave like a thriller movie right now. They shit again. That's the last thing I need. So I need to revert back to being ass, but they not. They are eating up the Kool-Aid. Obviously, Mike Vrabel's being back in the building, got them energized. We know what he can do mentally, emotionally for players as a coach. He's that type of, lead by example type of coach. Get them energized. He's also got them playing good defense. And the one thing that we've always needed from them is the offensive side. Drake May is looking good. They are getting the best out of no-name receivers right now. I don't know. Like, who the hell, Booty.
Yeah, booty. Literally booty.
For real. I don't know none of they receivers. Mario Douglas. Obviously we know Stanford Diggs. He had a hell of a game going back to Buffalo. He made it personal. We knew he was going to. Killed him. All right. But Drake May, this is crazy, bro.
No, I think there's something about certain franchises where I don't know if it's like luck or if it's a curse. I don't know what it is, but there's certain franchises that just, if they are bad, they're not bad for long. And it's not necessarily that they're always filled with a ton of talent or necessarily that they always have great coaching or whatever, but the Patriots all of a sudden turning it around and being good again. It's like, because I was thinking about this the other day, like the Jets as the complete counterexample. No matter what they do, things don't work out. It doesn't even matter if they do have talent. It doesn't matter if they hire a good coach. Things just don't work. They'll bring in Brett Favre off of playing well with the Packers. He'll be terrible. He'll go to another team and he'll play well. Exact same thing happens with Aaron Rodgers. Chad Pennington's shoulder blows out all the time. Like there's just a force field around the Jets of badness no matter what they do. The Browns is basically the same thing. Meanwhile, like the Seahawks Russell Wilson will play well for them, and then he'll be ass immediately when he leaves. Geno Smith will play well for them, and then be ass as soon as he leaves. Now they have Sam Darnold, and now he's really good for them. Patriots, same deal. Like there are just these teams that have such insane luck just around them, and the personnel almost doesn't matter. So I don't know. I don't know what you make of that. Maybe you don't make anything of that. Maybe it's just a weird fact of the world. But it does seem like a weird fact of the world.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like we're in a fucking weird ass NFL matrix this year. Like with things that we know are tend to be true aren't true, and then things that should never happen are the anomalies is taking over Vegas. Vegas is getting killed this year because the underdogs have been fucking draining the banks this year.
There is a real world scenario that is not impossible or not even necessarily improbable where the top four quarterbacks, the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, are between Daniel Jones and Bo Nix and Sam Darnold and Mac Jones. That is not an impossible scenario. In fact, it kind of looks like that's going to happen.
No, because it's crazy. Because like I was looking at everything. Obviously, I think the Colts are gonna want to run away with their division. As much as I love the Houston Texans defense, their offense is just struggling like hell. I don't care how much juice they think they got. Jaguars are frauds. They're gonna start looking like ass. The AFC North is wide open. The Pittsburgh Steelers just left that door open. Now they're letting the Ravens get your shit together, and that's bad for them because now you got to meet them twice down the stretch, and the momentum that they're playing with right now,
Yeah,
that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, you got that now with Lamar Jackson back and Roquan Smith back and those defensive pieces back.
Look, the Chargers are cute, but I will give them their respect that their defense is getting healthier, but your offensive line is still abysmal due to injuries. I get it.
And they did beat the Steelers with that bad offensive line pretty handily, though.
Yeah, they did. But my thing is Justin Herbert gonna make it through the rest of the season? That man's getting touched a lot. He's getting hit a lot.
He is.
He's getting hit a lot. And in Denver, come on now. If you got a Super Bowl caliber defense that you got right there, how the hell you gonna put on the same field that inept offense? It's crazy. You struggled to get rid of the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-7. They were in that game coming in 2-6, and Geno Smith is terrible.
They play down to their opponents, and that's not sustainable. Almost all of their wins, whether it's a good team or a bad team, it's like a couple of points difference of the score at the end.
It's their offense for me.
Yeah.
And this was the one thing I kept trying to tell them Broncos fans, like, y'all believing in Bo, but what consistent year did he give you? Huh? Yeah, he gave you some good moments. He's gonna give you some bad moments too. Damn it. The only thing he's been consistent at is being inconsistent, and he being inconsistent this year just as much as he was last year. But
he got booed in a win.
Yeah, but I'm also giving some grace, Randy. I'm Sean Payton ain't doing too much to help him.
You don't think so? I don't think this is a Sean Payton problem. I think Sean Payton's the reason why it's not worse. Like the amount of talent that he's risen around him is, I think, the biggest reason that they don't. The fact that the defense and the offensive line are as good as they are is almost entirely Sean Payton, because those were not talented rosters when he got there.
That's fair. Well, what I'm saying is, if you are the play caller, which he is, you know that you need to get your run game going, and come on. My thing is, if he's the expert, all right. He said you got the members only Avarex. Hey, yo, stop. What's good, Bob? Hey, shout out to Bobby G, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us every Thursday and Friday. But no, man, that fucked me up.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good, bro.
My point is, when it comes to Bo, if you know you're gonna have these inconsistencies, and I'm not an expert, but I've seen enough Broncos football last year and this year with him as the starting quarterback that he plays better when the running game is going. He can hit the play action, the bootleg, move the pocket. I just thought that's what he thrived in Oregon. Obviously he did more RPO up in Oregon with Dan Lanning. Cool, whatever. But I just think Bo's just too inconsistent. But I also think that there needs to be more effort to get the running game going with J.K. Dobbins, who's having a great season, with Harvey, who's been solid as a rook, and
it's been okay. They need more, but yes, J.K. Dobbins has been good.
I just think that's
good.
I just think that's more on Sean, where I just think he's not utilizing his offense to his fullest degree and stop trying to put so much on Bo Nix. Because I think when he's trying to have Bo Nix drop back more than 30 plus times, I don't think that's going to be the recipe of success for it.
No, that's true. I I agree with that. I think that if you know that that's the kind of quarterback that you have, that you can't rely on him being like that. And at least up until the fourth quarter, because that's when he seems to always wake up. That you gotta do a lot of runs before then.
And Raiders defense is solid. It's not great, and y'all struggling. Yeah, yeah. We talked about the AFC East, but let's move over to the NFC. Tampa Bay. I know they got the loss to the Patriots, but I think they're still cream of the crop in the NFC. They're still going to walk away with this division because the only team that's supposed to give them competition, the Panthers, they are so damn fluky. I don't know what they
Yeah, I don't know what the Panthers are. The Panthers are. I don't know what the Panthers are. I don't know what the Falcons are. I don't know.
I know what the Falcons are. They are Falcons.
Okay, look. I know how it looks. I know how their record looks. That being said, I still don't think that their record accurately reflects the talent on the roster.
What are you talking about, Ray?
Listen. Look, okay, listen. Look. Let's look at their losses.
Every time they had a top 2 defense and offense at the same time, and now they're 3-6.
Okay, hold on. First of all, their defensive ranking this year is where are they right now? They were up until last week. They were like a top 4 defense in the NFL and very high on offensive ranking. Their losses this year have been a close shootout with the Buccaneers, a close game in overtime with the 8-2 Colts. They beat the Bills. Which I mean, like, I don't know what that is now, but you know, they beat the Bills. They are supposed to be a real team. You know, their record's weird, and like, I think I think the Falcons are similar to the Panthers in that they are both teams that are unpredictable week to week. I don't think they're horrible teams, but they're just unpredictable week to week.
Yeah, but when you're 3-6, you're telling me, and you're telling you, and you're telling football fans that you can't finish.
I get it.
We just had a coach get fired for this shit.
Okay, I get it. But I don't think that every team's record in the first half of the season is necessarily reflective of what they're going to end up doing. Ravens are a perfect example, right?
That's fair.
Yes, Ravens, that's entirely because of injury. Now, the Falcons don't have that as their excuse.
Yeah, but the Ravens are showing us that they got the ability to turn this shit around and actually be a threat, which I actually think they are now.
Yes. No, and that's true. I just think that the talent is so much there. You know, the quarterback, the running back, the receivers. You know, Pitts is actually having a decent year. The defense has looked so much better. All of their rookies have been some of the best defensive rookies this year.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just the coaching. Like, I think if they had a better coach, this would look better. But the talent is so good on both sides of the ball. It's hard for me to believe that they're just a bad team. You know what I'm saying?
I so hope it's not the coaching, because this is Raheem Morris's retread. This is his second shot. And I would hate for him to be the reason why they suck. But it's starting to look like he's, because you just said it. They're in games where they're losing in close battles.
Yeah, against good teams.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not. Another disappointing season from the Falcons. That's all I can say.
Yes.
So far, for sure.
But the nucleus is there. So this might not be their year.
Yeah.
Next year might be, though, because the nucleus on both sides of the ball is there, and it's young, and it is good. They dominated the Vikings, who, you know, Vikings are another team. We don't know what they are.
I did not. I don't know what they are, bro.
Yeah. 8 in their game, 8 false starts, bro. Like,
you get smacked by the Ravens, but you beat the Lions a week before. I'm like, what are you?
Yeah, that's almost every single team in the NFL is a what are you team, and there are like just a handful of those absolutely ass teams, but almost every other team, even like the best teams, are like a "What are you" team.
I
Maybe the Rams aren't. Maybe the Rams are like an actually good team. I don't know who's actually good.
Okay, so now that you bring that up, that division minus the Cardinals is crazy.
Yes.
7-2, 7-2 Seahawks and Rams. 6-4 49ers, who are literally hanging by a duct tape and fucking goddamn gorilla glue with all the injuries they got.
Mm-hmm.
And still are winning. I don't know how the hell I would see now that's coaching.
Yeah.
What the hell is Kyle Shanahan at 6-4 with this literally MacGyver job he is doing right now? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's still my favorite for coach of the year. I think regardless, I think other people have really good cases. Shane Steichen is probably the favorite now, and for good reason, because his quarterback sucks. But Kyle Shanahan's quarterback sucks, and his almost entire roster sucks because it's backups, and he's still winning. He doesn't have a John. Well, he has CMC. Running back was the bad example there, but
I was about to say, wait a minute,
he basically just has CMC, and that's been it. Kittle's played like 2 games. Ayuk's still not back. Bosa's been out about half the season now. Warner's missed games, right? Like it's rookies and backups and Mac Jones, and off of the power of CMC and Kyle Shanahan, they have a 6-4 record.
I just got to give bravo to Kyle Shanahan respect. But no, week 10 was just crazy. I thought that was probably the most oddest week I've ever seen. Again, and ain't no way I saw Saints winning that game. Ain't no way I saw, the Chargers literally dominating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, what are you, Steelers? So now you're leaving the door open for the Ravens to get back. The Packers losing at home. Look, that was I thought that'd be a better game offensively for the Packers. And then it just turned into just a defensive 15-round heavyweight fight. Both defenses played pretty well in that game. Lions did what they were supposed to do against a very beat-up Commanders team. I feel bad for Commanders fans. They're like, damn, man, like we just all over the damn place. So it was just a weird week.
I was right about them being a regression candidate, though, even with Daniels in there. So that's
they are regressing pretty bad. But I know, and we took last week off, but I'm still putting that on Dan Quinn. All right. I get it. I've seen the talks. My man Omar brought it up. He was like, some of the talks where they wanted to see Jaden Daniels get some reps because, he's missed some games. I understand that. Well, do that shit in practice.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was egregious for them to be running those plays at the end of that.
Because you're down 20 plus. There's no way you're winning this game. What are we doing?
He should have been. He should have been sitting. Like, that's pretty crazy to me.
Wait.
It's the same thing with the Jackson Dart issue. Like, you don't play a quarterback like that in unwinnable situations or unwinnable seasons. Turn them into a checkdown merchant if you have to. You're tanking anyway. Like, what are you doing? Like, I know that the Commanders' record wasn't as bad, but that game, it was completely out of reach. You just don't risk your guy like that for no benefit.
Because we're talking about not just this season. We're talking about their career. I need them around. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I didn't understand that at all, man. So no, week 10 was some weird shit. For me, game of the week was definitely that Patriots Buccaneers. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that. Yeah, man. It's starting to shape down. We are in November, so y'all know what that means. This is just the time of the season where most teams starting to get their bye weeks in, and then hopefully you can start jockeying for position in that top 7. get as close to 1 as you can as possible to get that home field advantage at spot 1. But yeah, man, we are in the nitty gritty. And of course, you know, on the opposite side of that, there are teams that are preparing for the draft. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But man, we gonna get up out of here. Y'all know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in with the bros, man. Always a good time. Always a good time. Y'all know where to find Randy. Y'all need some audio needs. Panther on Acid on Instagram. Y'all know where y'all can find me. Twitter, KC Wild Karma. You know, that's where I'm at. Hey, hit that like, share, subscribe button. I.O.W Sports Network on all social media platforms. Hit that YouTube up. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. That bell notification when we drop that content you did. Hey, we going to get up out of here on behalf of the man, the bro, the myth, the legend that is Randy Weber, Esquire. I'm Wild Karma. We up out of here. I'll let y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Silent Hill TD, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild Karma. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo, let's go. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild Karma.